willingness to work across party lines, as the senator from Texas pointed out, called up the great partnership with Senator Kennedy and Senator Hatch and talked about the 80-20. Let's agree on 80%. We might not agree on everything, but let's move forward. I think what were his words, on the 80% that we do agree on. So I want to come to the floor today to ask Senator Cornyn from Texas particularly, and Senator McConnell and Senator Reid and others, if they would join me in moving forward on the Keystone XL pipeline. This has been a project that has lingered far too long. It is clearly supported by 60 or more members of this body. It is a piece of legislation that has been endorsed by the new majority leader, to-be majority leader, is a co-sponsor and a leading co-sponsor of the legislation. There are a significant number of Democrats on that legislation, and I believe with a push, significant push in the next few hours, that we could actually get the votes that we need to pass the Keystone pipeline. Now, in an hour or so, at the request of the minority, I'm going to wait for about an hour, and then I'm going to propose a unanimous consent to do exactly that, to set up 2 hours of debate tonight after the vote, and then have a vote on the Keystone pipeline tomorrow. I believe it is time to act. I believe that we should take the new majority leader at his word and stop blocking legislation that is broadly supported by the American public and has been for quite some time. I want to say yes to new Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The time to start is now. The public has clearly spoken, and I believe that we can move forward on several important pieces of legislation. Senator Reid mentioned the Marketplace Fairness Act. That is another very important piece of legislation that I believe needs to be moved through, and with a little push right now, it could get done, and it would be a significant boost to business and retail that are being hurt every day by our inaction. But my comments today are going to be about the Keystone Pipeline because I am chair of the Energy Committee for the United States Senate, and I'm going to do everything in my power here and at home on the campaign trail, where I'm still in a runoff, as you know, to get this project moving forward. One of the extraordinary facts about the Keystone Pipeline is not what it is, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, and what it does, but one of the most extraordinary pieces of argument for why we should pass it is the unprecedented coalition that supports it. Now, there are other bills that have a longer list of supporters. There are bills that have pages and pages of list. But this particular bill has a relatively short list of organizations, but they are extremely powerful and they are extremely diverse, which makes it compelling, and I think it makes us, or should make us, want to stand up and respond to this coalition. I'm going to read their names because I've got some time to do this before I call for unanimous consent to pass the original Hoeven-Landrieu Keystone bill, which is a standalone Keystone bill as originally introduced with 45 Republican co-sponsors. Every member of the Republican caucus is already a co-sponsor of this bill. And we have on that bill about 12 Democratic co-sponsors, and I am confident that we have the additional votes necessary to pass it. The American Chemistry Council, the American Concrete Pipe Association, the American Exploration and Production Council, the American Highways Users Alliance, the American Petroleum Institute, the American Road Transportation Builders, American Truckers Association, Associate General Contractors of America, Association of Oil Pipelines, Concrete Reinforcing Steel Institute, Distribution Contractors Association, Independent Petroleum Association of America, Industrial Minerals Association of North America, Institute for 21st Century Energy, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Laborers International Union of North America. And let me stop there and make a point. Many bills that pass here or are attempted to pass here either have a list of all business organizations or all labor organizations or all environmental organizations or all highway contractors. This bill has such an extraordinary, diverse group of some of the strongest business leaders in the country, and I want to underscore to my Democratic colleagues that are supporting this piece of legislation, tremendous support from labor unions, because labor unions, like business leaders, want jobs. They want profits. They want success. They want more investment in business, creating good middle-class jobs. And the difference between the oil and gas industry, which I've been pleased to be a strong advocate for in many, many different facets, is that this industry does produce the kinds of jobs that Americans really want. Not minimum wage jobs, not just slightly above minimum wage, but jobs that in my state, the Senator knows this because he's well aware of this, start at $60,000, $70,000, $85,000 for a young man, young woman coming out of high school or trade school, let alone college. These are very important jobs. That's why labor unions are represented here, along with Portland Cement Association, the plastics industry, the United Association of Journeymen and Apprentices of Plumbing and Pipe Fitters industry, American Concrete, the Business Roundtable, American Supply Association, American Iron and Steel Institute, National Association of Manufacturers, National Electric Contractors Association, National Roofing Contractors. Why would roofing contractors be supporting the Keystone Pipeline? There are no roofs on a pipeline, but there are thousands of roofs on workers needed to build a pipeline. All along the route of this pipeline will be increases in populations of housing, industrial sites, retail, residential, supporting over 40,000 workers to build this pipeline. The North American Die Casting Association, the National Utility Contractors, again, associated businesses, the U.S. Oil and Gas Association, and finally, Steel Manufacturers and Western Alliance. Now, this is an extraordinary coalition that has come together to support the Hoeven-Landrieu bill, the bill that I'm going to call up in a few minutes for unanimous consent to pass, because I believe what the new majority leader has said, and I believe what Senator Cornyn has just said, the senator from Texas, and I believe what the current majority leader has said, soon to be minority leader in the next Congress, that we need to work together, and that we can work together. And we need to begin to do that today, not tomorrow, not in January, not in February, not in March, not around the corner, not next week, but today. That would send the most positive signal. And I'm not asking to have unanimous consent on 10 bills that are controversial. I'm not asking us to do the impossible. I'm not asking us to do something that just came up last week. I'm asking us to move forward on a bill